Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below. With that out of the way, there's been a bunch of AEW Fight Forever leaks for Season 2. And I found out about this via Loaded is a Beast. Go check out his channel, shoutouts to him. And he gave his 2 cents on it, so I kind of wanted to give my 2 cents on it. So let's go over to X, look at what's been leaked, and I'll give my 2 cents and why I'm a little worried. So here we are over on X, and I found a new Twitter user / X user via Loaded is a Beast. Go check him out. Shoutouts to him. He came across this. That's why I discovered it. And they've been leaking stuff for the new season of AEW Fight Forever. And it's very telling. If you're a creator, custom wrestler, if you like creating wrestlers, there's very bad news I feel for this. And let's get into that for a minute. What bad news? Okay. So to prove my point of what I'm about to talk about, let's watch her entrance here. I believe it's about 9 to 10 seconds long. So count from right here, 10. So 10 to... This is a leaked character, by the way. Her face looks a lot better than Bunny's. So that's about 10 seconds, or 9 to 10 seconds for an entrance. Then we got a new mode here, which we'll talk about in a minute. But let's talk about this short entrance and how that's probably a reason for lack of creative wrestler options, right? What am I talking about? Well, let's say we had community creations. Let's say the creative wrestler was super robust and had every feature we wanted and had every in-game wrestler's outfits, kind of like Ultra Pro Wrestling is doing. What is to stop you from just downloading a wrestler from community, kind of like we do in 2K, and just ignoring the real wrestlers that they want you to pay for? With the short entrances like that, a 10-second entrance, with 10 seconds of the song, what are you buying? A character model that is subpar, no offense, but if the community creations could make one just as good, why would you spend money on a creative or a wrestler in the game? You wouldn't, right? Not for 10 seconds of a theme song. So what I'm getting at here is why I think, and I said this in another video, go check out my last 2 videos, I talk about this a little bit. This is why I feel the creative wrestler is still so bad, and it's going to stay bad until they're done releasing wrestlers, and maybe for the life of the game. Because it is so bad, it feels intentional. Because they're so afraid of people just making the wrestlers and not spending money on the game that they don't want to add anything to it. They want you to buy the wrestlers. They're like... And that just drives me crazy, because my favorite thing to do is to create wrestlers, original wrestlers. I typically don't create the in-game wrestlers or wrestlers from a show or from real wrestling, because I usually end up buying them, right? But if it's 10 seconds of a theme song, unlike the 2K series, where it's the entire theme song, entire authenticated entrance, the character models are completely scanned and look almost real, like realistic, and you get their movesets, and you get to use most of their creation parts for Create a Wrestler, why in the... Like, that actually gives you a reason to buy those. And in Ultra Pro Wrestling, you're going to be able to use all of their clothing and everything. So it actually gives you a reason to buy the DLC. So, I don't know. I don't know why a game like this... They're treating it more like a fighting game than a wrestling game. Because if you look at this one, right here, you pause it at the end. This is the route it looks like they're going to go. They're going to go the route of giving in-game wrestlers skins, new shirts, probably new pants, new outfits, instead of giving us creation parts, because these parts are probably going to be locked to these characters, and that sucks. It's like, you gotta get creative wrestler parts. If anything, unlock all the clothing parts that are already in the game for your creative wrestler. That should be pretty easy to do because they're in the game. I don't know why we can't use all these parts in the game already. I've played so many wrestling games and so many games with you created characters. This is probably one of the worst ones as far as options is concerned I've ever played. And it kills me because it's 2023. And if you're going to include a creative wrestler and make it this bad, don't even bother including it. Like, why do we have one to begin with? If it's just going to be like, oh, it's there. What's funny is I made a video on Rumble Roses, right? Rumble Roses create a character is about the same as this one as far as how bad it is. It has like 4 face options, 4 hairstyles. I think it only has it has the scaling body thing, but they end up looking like all the other characters in the game. It's just, that one's really bad too. So like if you wanted something to compare it to, it's almost like Rumble Roses, and that came out in 2006, and this is 2023. So I don't know. And another thing that has me worried about the creator wrestler, and we'll talk about more of this mode here in a second here, and I'll give my 2 cents on it. But another thing that's been worried about creator wrestler is they're working on fixes for Stadium Stampede mode. They're talking about adding duos and stuff like that they do in Battle Royales, right? They're gonna add stuff to that mode too. I know Loaded as a Beast talked about this in his video. Make sure you check out his video. Why are you adding stuff to that mode instead of matches, creator wrestler parts? I don't get it. Arenas. So anyway, let's talk about this arcade mode. This looks really cool. Looks like it has different difficulty levels. There's another picture here that shows you have a life, or like a win count. Like you can lose 3 times before you have to start the whole thing over. So this is kind of cool. I kind of like this, actually, the arcade mode, because this will give you something to do if you're playing. Let's say you have it on Switch or you have it on Steam Deck. You could load this up and try to run through it real fast, or you can get to like the 4th person, go into sleep mode, go back to whatever you were doing, come back, load it back up. This is like the perfect mode for handheld play, I think. So this is really cool. I like this. And we got some of the wrestlers being shown off here. Let's go up to this picture right here, or this video. And this is what I'm talking about. 3 retries. Now the setup here is a little different, so I'm curious if this is a different mode, or if it's just zoomed in of what the game is, right? So anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think they're going to add any creation parts, or or am I right and it's going to be intentionally bad until they can charge you for these wrestlers? Thank you for watching. Sound off in the comments below. Stay frosty.